against all odds. I'm sitting there, surrounded by 2 rows of empty chairs. Phil Collins' 1984 his song, Against All Odds, is blaring at his dancing hall, now filled with couples on the floor. From the corner of my eye, I see this classmate of mine, Rogelio, the 6-foot-tall, handsome young man, start walking toward my direction. He stops right in front of me, extends his right hand and says, "Would you dance with me?" My eyes go to his 2 dimples on top of his smile. It was 1985. I was a junior in college. I organized this dance party a week before Thanksgiving. My crush just asked me to dance. This was a moment I would never forget. I went to Fujian University in Taipei, Taiwan for college during the early 1980s. Now you know how old I am. I was a major in Spanish. I was a fast learner because language came easy for me. I was popular, so I served as a class president 2 years in a row during my sophomore and junior years. I was respected and liked by most of my classmates. I was everything except one thing: beautiful. You see, I wasn't like the rest of my female classmates. They were mostly thin and feminine, often with long wavy hair resting nicely on their shoulders or hanging down their backs, while I was plump, curvy, masculine, and with a short haircut. I hardly wore a skirt, and I sat and walked and talked like a boy/man. My male classmates treated me like wonderful buddies. My best friend Emma once said this to me: "It would take a very special man not to feel threatened by you and see the woman in you." Sure, what she said made sense, but it didn't necessarily translate into comfort when everyone around me was showered with attention. Because of my leadership role, I had to organize activities for my classmates. And that year, I organized this dance party off campus with another class from another university full of male students. And for the dance party, the norm at the time was, I don't know what happens now, was that the women in our class would sit on one end of the hall and wait for the men from another class to come over to invite us. So as the music began, the men from the other side started walking toward our direction to invite their desired partners. So one by one, each of my female classmates left their seat until I was the last woman sitting. I was by myself, surrounded with a universe of emptiness around me. I was all alone, which made me feel very lonely. No one had deliberately tried to embarrass me, but I felt embarrassed. No one intended to shame me, but I felt ashamed. No one meant to reject me, but I felt rejected. And in a world where everyone simply picked someone they desired, I was left behind, feeling undesirable and unwanted. And then from the corner of my eye, I saw this close friend of mine, Sylvia, walk to my crush, Rogelio, who was talking to the DJ at the time, and whispered to him. He glanced at me, nodded his head, and started walking toward my direction. I don't think they knew I saw them. He stops right in front of me, extends his right hand and says, "Would you dance with me?" This could have been the best moment of my life, being asked by my crush to dance and being seen with him on that floor, but it wasn't. I didn't know if I should accept an invitation out of gratitude or if I should decline out of pride. Believe me, my friends loved me. So I knew that they were trying to do things to get me out of my shame, misery, and embarrassment. But then how do you accept an invitation that comes out of people's kindness and compassion yet feels so burdensome and so shameful and so pitiful at the same time? How do you accept something that comes out of people's compassion and they're wanting to save you, yet ends up feeling demeaned by it somehow? It was hard to be grateful, but I was. So I accepted his invitation to dance, and we danced awkwardly to the sound against all odds. And I can still remember the lyrics saying, "And you coming back to me is against all odds. But that's a chance I've got to take." I was left alone again after the second round of invitations. Thankfully, Rogelio didn't return to ask me. That was for the better anyway, because I didn't bother to wait around. I simply left the dance party I organized myself after that. The night, I learned that people's good intention could come with a price. I also learned that I no longer wish to follow the strict gender rule of waiting to be asked to dance. The truth is, I loved dancing, and I had loved dancing by myself. And I decided I would never ask for permission to dance and to enjoy myself again, ever. Of course, that was after I cried myself to sleep to simply be me. So I start dancing by myself. And I rewrite the lyrics of Against All Odds. Take a look at me now.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Because there's just an empty space. But to wait for you is no more. Thank you.